I was a leader on 5G getting that done, and now they're up to 6.
Let's do it again.
What does that do? Give you a little bit deeper view into somebody's skin? See how perfect it is? I like the cameras the old days. So they just had a nice feature. Now they cover every little. Let's see, Michael, you're in good shape. You're not gonna. But I tell you, it's the 6 is coming, huh? The 6 is coming, huh? My concern about 5G is that the RF radiation from 5G is dangerous. It penetrates it disrupts the blood-brain barrier. It also is associated with glioblastomas and other cancers. And it causes a lot of other dramatic health effects. And there are literally thousands and thousands of studies in that. I've litigated on that issue, and I've won in the Federal Court of Appeals. So
this modern experiment where a single large government or some mega corporation is able to monitor and control like a billion people at once, that's not safe. That's not stable. It's not normal. It's a radical, dangerous experiment. Zcash and cryptographically based privacy is really just a return to the world I was born in.
People should at least have the choice to be like, look, these are the transactions I'm willing to reveal to the world. Maybe they're merchant payments for buying a burrito or something. But for these things, maybe they're large-sized trades, or maybe they're certain types of payments, or maybe they're votes, right? Think of a democracy, right? Like you don't broadcast to the world, hey, I'm voting for Biden or Trump. The results are public once you voted, but the intent that you cast a vote with is private. Otherwise, you would get bullied, right? Somebody would be like, hey, why are you voting this way? And it's the same thing with Solana and private transactions.
The UAE is like I like to view it as like the Silk Road hub of modern times. You have cross-border payments and remittances and volumes per capita that you don't really see elsewhere. Those are the two major use cases for stables today in terms of real-time payments, being able to swap between currencies. So I think the UAE has a very interesting place to kind of show the world what does good regulation look like, what does a central bank produce in terms of its infrastructure to help its businesses sort of thrive.
The next chapter of Taoshi is opening it up to become a global off-chain and on-chain platform for developers, for builders, and for users all around the world to utilize. And so we're really excited about this push with Solana and just our general tokenization contract push, where essentially there are these tokenization layers, in this case of Solana, DFlow and Jupiter, which are the largest order aggregators on Solana. They're building this infrastructure to allow the tokenization of predictions on Solana, to allow any user to permissionlessly trade in a crypto native way predictions.
We just keep coming back to is this idea of internet capital markets. So the thesis is one blockchain where every asset from stablecoins to T-bills to tokenized data in the physical world, all these things exist in sort of one place. And so what's really rich about the Solana ecosystem is this thesis of having everything tradable in one market. And I think over the past few years, you have seen an explosion in all kinds of markets on Solana. For us, it's very important to see all kinds of markets really thrive on chain. And we think it's really critical to this vision of NASDAQ at lightning speed with every asset tradable.
Solana's the platform, but then why are stablecoins involved? Why can't you get paid in Solana?
So the stable coins are issued. So Solana, there's Sol, the token, and then there's Solana, the programmable infrastructure, Solana, the financial rails. And so those financial rails allow you to issue a stablecoin using this underlying financial infrastructure. And the coordination of that network uses Sol, the native token. So you're right, there are multiple kind of aspects of this, but in the case that you were mentioning, which is JP Morgan and Galaxy and Coinbase and Solana, what's happening is that there's a stablecoin which has been issued on Solana using Solana's financial infrastructure. And there's also commercial paper from JP Morgan, which is also being tokenized. And the market around that to settle that commercial paper transaction is using a tokenized asset, commercial paper, being settled against stablecoins, which are also issued on Solana. So when we talk about RWA or tokenize everything, stablecoins and commercial paper are two forms of those tokens.
Yeah, I mean, that was just an...
Welcome to the Crypto Teacher.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.
And I come back with that video just to make you think. And make sure you're joining the Patrons. If you're not a part of the Patrons, make sure you're hitting the Cash App. Also, go like and follow the TikTok. More videos to come. And we have Trump on SESG. And then what did he say? He was pushing 5G. And we have RFK Jr. telling you the truth about 5G. So just imagine what SESG is going to do. They'll be able to see inside your homes. Remember, this technology was not made for you. Don't forget, guys, this is a spiritual war. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. Make sure you watch that Patreon video I did this week. It's so important. And I'm doing this video to show you all the adoption that's going on. Yes, when you look at the price, we're not pumping. But we know when it comes to the actual building, it is definitely pumping. Adoption is definitely pumping. And eventually, that's going to end up in the price. And that's going to be for stocks and cryptos, but you are going to have to hold long term. That's what this new financial system is going to be about. You're holding, you may have to borrow off your asset. You'll be able to own a home with probably 100 different people, and they'll be from all around the world. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. And we know how important privacy is going to be in this fourth industrial revolution. In blockchain, you can see all transactions, but there's certain transactions that you may want to make that you don't want anyone to see. Now, we know we already have that technology. If you're smart and you know how to use it, you're going to be fine. You're going to be doing great. But we know when it comes to the sheep, they have no clue. And of course, the government is going to come in and say, hey, we're going to give you a privacy coin, a privacy technology. But we know they're going to have a backdoor to it. We've seen this movie before. And we have the emerging markets, the Middle East, leading this fourth industrial revolution. And all we keep hearing about are these prediction markets. And they're doing nothing but taking all this gambling and putting it on blockchain. So why? So they can tax it all. Remember, guys, you have a whole shadow economy that nobody sees. Just cash moving around. And now that we're going to a cashless society, and eventually they're going to try to make it so they're not going to be able to print any more cash. You're going to be forced to go digital. And remember, the crypto teacher told you.
That the president will move to reclassify marijuana as a less dangerous drug. Our Brandon Gomez has been covering the story for what feels like forever and has more on the timing of this news. Hey, Brandon.
Hey, Carl. Yeah, that's right. I feel like we've been here before, right? But with the president wanting to reschedule the drug to a new classification. Now, it is currently scheduled as Schedule 1. Now, that's on par with heroin. Down to Schedule 3 is what the president wants to do, the same as Tylenol with codeine. So why is this time different? Well, sources have told me that the president is actively drafting an executive order to be issued as soon as Monday. Now, it would advise the DOJ and the DEA to move forward with reclassification. The White House so far saying no final decision has been made yet. Now, I did speak this morning, though, with Tilray CEO Irwin Simon, one of the largest cannabis growers in the industry. He believed this time is different from past promises, telling me after many false starts, he is, quote, more optimistic this time around, adding he believes there will be change by the end of the year. Now, Carl, let's say we do get the executive order on Monday. What's next? Well, the DOJ and the DEA will publish a final rule. It'll then enter a 30-day waiting period for any challenges. We did just get a hemp ban in the government spending bill, so we know opposition is out there. And then any litigation would result in further delay of the process. So as it goes with cannabis, and as you mentioned off the top, 2 steps forward, possible 4 steps back. One cannabis lawyer, though, telling me that this is the beginning of a, quote, new era of public health policy, but that this would be a partial victory with legalization and regulatory hurdles still ahead. Still, major implications for health regulators, retailers, investors, banks, of course, and the like, as we always discuss when we get these cannabis headlines.
Governor Glenn Youngkin. Governor Youngkin, it's great to have you. Welcome.
Great, Sarah. Thank you for being with me. And this was a big announcement today because it directly attacks a supply chain failure in America, which is for rare earth magnets. The entire rare earth element supply chain is dominated by China. And
yes.
This announcement with one of our great allies in South Korea, LS Cable and System, will in fact meet that need here in Virginia. But we've had a big week, Sarah. We've had $1.2 billion of announcements for advanced manufacturing, thousands of jobs. And I think it reflects the manufacturing renaissance that's going on in Virginia and America.
Yes, I want to talk to you about all of it, but first on the rare earths, because you're right, we've been really focused on this issue and the fact that we need that, and China produces it and we do not. So when does it come online? When do we actually start to reduce our reliance on rare earths, where we can produce them in Virginia?
Well, this is the first of, I believe, many announcements that are going to be made because of the focus that the Trump administration is placing on addressing this failure in our supply chain. And I think we'll see many announcements over the course of the coming year to address this issue.
Is it years? Like, how long does it take to get up and running?
Well, this plant will break ground next year and should be up and running in 2027. And I think that's a great commitment from not only Virginia to fast track permits, but also from our partners at LS Cable and System to get moving. The capital amount here is big, and I'm just pleased that they chose Virginia to do this.
How did you do it? I mean, take us through.
An hour ago, the Mexican Senate approved a new tariff bill that includes new levies for over 1,400 different products, mainly from Asian countries, but particularly from China. This, of course, means a realignment in Mexico's trade policy, trying to be more in line or in touch with Washington's trade policy. In the past few years, Mexico in the past has been very proud of inking different trade deals with several nations across the globe, but now it's trying to protect its national industry from Asian countries in particular. And I mean, this is an unprecedented bill in terms of the size of and what it means also to this realignment with the United States.
And we have Trump to reclassify Mary J. And like I've told you time and time again, Republicans and Democrats have different agendas. And now that the Republicans are in, this is one of their agendas. They're going to string it out as long as possible to get as close as they can to their universal basic income. Because we know we're going to have mass layoffs, and what do people do? Drink and smoke. But if you have a war on drugs, you want to be able to control it and then also tax it. So we know who's going to be selling majority of your Mary Jane. That's right, these big corporations. And remember, the Cryptoteacher told you. And we have Virginia with a deal with South Korea when it comes to rare earths. And the only reason why they need these rare earths is for the fourth industrial revolution. And you hear people talking about rare earths all day long, and they have no clue. And Virginia didn't have to team up with South Korea because we have companies that do the same thing here inside the United States. So we know this is definitely a strategic move. And remember, the Cryptoteacher told you. And we have Mexico putting tariffs on China. And we know China was moving those goods to Mexico, and then they made their way to the United States without the big tariffs. So what is this going to cause? That's right, less goods and higher prices inside the United States. And unfortunately, the sheep have no clue. And remember, the Cryptoteacher told you. Because he knows, when it comes to the NWO, it's all planned out. You have a wonderful day.
Going to a different economy, and we're going to be learning more about that as we go. But clearly, we're learning that things can be done from remote locations. We're learning that technology can replace people even more than we thought.
We're not going back to the same economy. We're recovering, but to a different economy, and it'll be one that is more leveraged to technology. And I worry that that is going to make it even more difficult than it was for many workers.
In Silicon Valley, and my friends who work in technology know that what we did to the manufacturing workers, we are now going to do to the retail workers, the call center workers, the fast food workers, the truck drivers, and then even bookkeepers, accountants, insurance agents, lawyers, and on through the economy. So what happened to the manufacturing workers is a very clear sign.
And so we'll import Chinese-based CBDC technology. So it's going to be CBDC in a box provided to you by the People's Bank of China.
But every stock, every bond, every currency, every commodity, every piece of art, every private business, every piece of real estate will eventually be a token on a blockchain, an entry on a ledger, permanent and immutable. We will have truth instead of trust, and we will save over $7 trillion a year. 6 to 8% of global GDP is wasted by the friction of the trust industry that's necessary when you have dual entry accounting. With triple entry accounting, which is what a blockchain is, we get rid of all of that friction. It's a beautiful future.
Like what you see in China and their social credit scoring systems, right? If we get identity wrong, it could be a tool to enslave humanity. And if we get it right, it could be a tool to liberate humanity. And as an American, I'm obviously rooting for the one that's on the side of freedom.
Bitcoin is an international asset. And also, I do believe the role of crypto is, it's digitizing gold.
I actually believe this technology is going to be very important. Look at it. We have been part of a huge revolution in investing through ETFs. We believe that ETFs will be changing the whole way we invest. Many people still use it as a means, people are investing it for indexing. No, the majority of people who are putting money in in ETFs are active investors that are buying exposure. The entire bond market is being transformed as we talk right now. I believe the next generation for markets, the next generation for securities will be tokenization of securities. And if we could have that distributed ledger that we know every beneficial owner, every beneficial seller, we all have our code of who's buying, who's selling, instantaneous settlement. And think about it, it changes the whole ecosystem.
Chinese bank ICBC has been hit by a ransomware attack, and the U.S. Treasury market, as a result of that, has been disrupted. This, according to the Financial Times. We're getting it more right now with Bloomberg's Shonali Bassick. Shonali, what do we know?
Listen, we have the Financial Times now reporting that ICBC, one of China's largest banks here, was hit with a ransomware attack. And remember, they're a very significant intermediary in the Treasury market. The SIFMA has told its members that this has been part of the reason here that the system is kind of clogged up, if you will, during that auction that we saw a little bit before. The attack had prevented ICBC, according to the Financial Times, from settling Treasury trades on behalf of other market participants. A large executive at a major bank also telling the paper that such a large party on the fixed income clearing corp creates major concerns, potentially impacting the liquidity of Treasury markets.
Now, it was not just a poor auction. It was absolutely lousy, and when the dealers have to step in to save a treasury auction, that's a rare occurrence. And
Cryptoteacher and the new World Order book, plus the 3 kids books, It's Time to Re-Educate. Also, new to cryptos, Coinbase, Bitrue, Binance. Do not forget book links and crypto links are in the description. The stock channel, guys. Don't forget to go like, subscribe, spread everywhere. You have your Kobo, your chip stocks, your banking, your gaming. While everybody's sitting at home, get home stocks, the Seaver, the biotech stocks. And while everybody's at home wishing, they were still getting that free money. What are they doing? Drinking and smoking weed. Don't forget about those stocks, and you have a wonderful day. The most powerful person in the world is the storyteller. The storyteller sets the vision, values, and agenda of an entire generation to come. Steve Jobs. And guys, I truly believe in this. When you look at the New World Order, they're the storytellers. And that's the reason why I wrote my New World Order book. But guys, now it's time to change the current generation. And I wrote 3 kids books. I love the Trinity because I understand the power that's in it. So I have 3 books. We have an opportunity to change the generation, to educate, not just me, but I want to show you that I take action on a daily basis. And I want you to take action on a daily basis. Whether it's your job, whether it's in your community, we have an opportunity right now to educate the masses. I posted this on my Twitter account. Please share, but this is a short clip of the 3 books. There's going to be a clothing line and action figures. Please get these books for your kids, nephews, cousins, friends, so therefore we can start the re-education now. Because as we see, The fourth industrial revolution foundation is definitely here. Robots, algorithms, drones, taking humanity out the picture. We have to re-educate. But let's get into the video.
Part 1. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save the village. Part 2. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save New York from COVID-33. Part 3. King Joshua and Grandma Tam goes to China.
It's mandatory to get part 1, part 2, and part 3 of this series. It's time to re-educate Generation Z.